In today's episode, we continue to slap on some paint in our guest cabin. We learn that sometimes what we plan in our heads doesn't always translate to real life.
I give up.
I can't the weather cooperate.
Will we ever be satisfied with our own projects?
Well, this is definitely looking DIY.
Come join us and find out.
Well, I have some touching up to do. But surprisingly, not terrible.
Thanks for tuning in. It is a new day, but we are working on the same project. I still have to do quite a bit on the guest space, so that is what we are going to tackle. I do have some help though. Bryce's mom, Bonnie, came and she's gonna help me tackle some of the painting jobs. So that way, by the time that Bryce possibly gets home tomorrow or the next day, he will have a little bit more of a drastic change. So with that said, let's get to work. Master. All right, well, this is what the room looks like without the trim painted. It's really not awful, but it kind of reminds me of like an early 2000s style, which maybe is coming back. Hey, the fashion is anyways. So I think I'm still gonna paint it white, make it fresh and clean looking, and just brighten up the space a little bit more just because it is so narrow in here. I just wish it was bumped out just a little bit more, but maybe down the road, maybe not. We'll have to discuss that one with Bryce. But my next step is probably to tackle this wall behind me, get it painted, and that way where I painted on the ceiling around the trim with the green, that can dry so then I can tape the wall off and then start on the trim. And Bonnie is just chipping away at taping the other room, so we're making progress. After some thinking, I did not paint that wall. I think I'm going to try something a little different, but I need some time to sit and think about it. So we did get all the walls taped, thanks to Bonnie. Thank you for helping me. And we're just gonna go eat dinner now, and then we'll probably come back tomorrow. What a short segment. glad I took that off. That is really dirty. And also I would have lost one of Bryce's drill bits under there. So just doing my part, getting back his pieces. Also, I'm not 100% sure if we want to keep these interior framing. Not sure what this is called. Windowsill, maybe? I don't know, but anyways, I'm not sure if we want to keep these for the future. I think I'm just gonna paint them anyways, but I don't know if later down the road I want to fit it with something else, just because it doesn't really fit together very well. I do like the wood, and it kind of brings in the wood cabin-y feel. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we keep them, get rid of them, replace them, don't worry about it? All feedback is good. Okay, it's time to paint the trim. No going back. I am fully committing to white trim. So don't disappoint me. I will disappoint myself, so you don't have to worry about that, okay? Let's get to it. Three coats on the trim. Check. My knees are very raw. So I'm gonna take a break from that. I guess the next step is to take the tape off and see how good of a job I did getting it all over. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna go check on the dogs again. Bryce should be here in about an hour, so let's see how much progress I can get done in that amount of time. We all know that's not gonna be a lot.
Well, I have some touching up to do, but surprisingly, not terrible. So let's keep going.
Tape is off. I will score myself 70%. So I'll give myself a C. It's not an A or B, but it's still passing. I find that it's very challenging to make such clean lines with tape. No matter how close I try to get the tape, to the seams, I just feel like it just seeps under and then causes these little gaps. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go through and touch up the white paint, and then I'm for sure gonna have to go through and touch up the green paint. But overall, oh, it's so much better. Bryce is very close to being here, so I'm gonna quickly touch up the paint so he didn't think I did a horrific job, even though he's gonna see this part of the video and be like, oh my God, what'd you do? And I'm like, no, I did nothing, it was perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and try to clean up this huge mess, but we're running out of time very fast. Well, this is definitely looking DIY. This is not a channel of how-to, it's a channel of oh my. I don't know. There was physical change and that's what we wanted to happen, so I'm happy with that. The lines are just so not good. Don't look closely at them. He's back with a car trailer. All right.
Okay.
Here it is.
Okay. Wow, it actually looks really good.
Don't look too closely at the edges because I'm trying to like
I can see.
cut it in and fix some blotchy spots.
I really like this color.
Yeah, doesn't it look good?
It does. It looks really good. I like
It's
it.
so much better than the
Yeah.
orange.
It looks completely changed in every way. The floor looks even worse.
Well, I do a good job of that.
Yeah.
Is this also why I'm excited for Bryce to be back? What?
Hey.
What? It's Mama.
It's a wicker wonderland.
It's a wicker one. The wicked wicker of the, well, I would say west, but we're more central. I found all this furniture for free while I was on a run, and I had Bonnie help me pick it up. She was the one that encouraged me to stick to my guns and bring it home. But I'm excited for free furniture. This is also vintage, and I'm probably ruining it right now, but hosing them off, but they're dirty.
Yeah, you gotta clean them somehow. I'm back, guys, after being out of town for a few days for work. Can finally make some more progress out at our shop cabin. Today's episode is not actually brought to you by Rappel Sportsman's Max 40% DEET. We're gonna be using a lot of this today. And yeah, I don't know, I've talked about making progress on this a bunch of times recently, and then we keep getting distracted into other things and making very little progress each day on the screened-in porch, which is in dire need. We have a party coming up out here, and we really want this to be secure so we don't keep getting all the bugs you can see in this corner that just appear, you know, pretty much each night. They're getting in every nook and cranny on this building. So let's make progress. Gotta make sure to pretend like Jen does some of this work.
Do I go here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to see actually like how hard this is, and I'm sure it is pretty hard.
Just watch me like whiff one of these little tiny framing nails.
I did it! I
not-
nailed it!
Not bad.
Look at me, I'm using hand-eye coordination skills.
All right, here's the loose plan. Underneath all of these, there's gaps. So bugs are just coming in. It's fine. I think I'm just gonna put a green treated 2x4 around the entire bottom, kind of like you can see with the bar here. Up top, it's now pretty nicely sealed. You saw that in the last episode, this awkward shape and others. That looks pretty good. The other gaps that we need to figure out is stuff like this, where these doors don't fit because the door's not square and the building's not square. So it's kind of a combo. But I think I can put a little bit of frame edging in, like this door stop that I added, just up along here and block a majority of it. And then the last big gap, as you can see here, the log cabin against a just a vertical upright there. Just massive gaps all the way down. So I'm gonna add another piece of trim, I think, on this whole piece. And then that should keep a majority of the bugs out, I hope. take it off to cut it next time. Got it. As per the usual, random change of plans. My neighbor Jeff had some time to come help me with the dock, and so I got one board in on the porch. I just keep making such minute progress. So sorry guys if you really want to see the porch done. I swear I'll put in some more time on it today, but he has time to help me put the dock in. This is his old dock. I don't really know how it goes together. I haven't put any thought into it because it just wasn't that important to me, but he has time today and I would love to have a dock to fish off of. So we're gonna try to put that in. So let's see how it goes. Pretty happy with how this turned out. I really wanted this main V shape to be kind of the biggest piece that stands out the most. And I like that it's rough cut wood. I think we're still gonna paint it, but you'll still see some of the roughness in it, I think. So this is the main shape. And then from here, I'm gonna fill in the gaps, I think, with some smaller random boards that we have just around the property. And I don't know, see what it turns into. I hope it starts to look cooler and cooler. I'm not very good at this. Man, these are some complicated shapes. I thought that this would be pretty straightforward, and every one of these I've screwed up and had to cut multiple times. Once again, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not getting it quite right. Starts off tight here, and then by the time we get over here, I got a big gap. Man. I might have to find a simpler way to fill this area without just using 2x4s or plywood or something. I really don't want to resort to cutting up a piece of plywood and sticking it on here, but we're getting close. I give up. I just don't have time to screw around with this anymore. I can't seem to get the angles quite perfect. This entire building isn't square, so like, everything has just a little bit of an angle or a tweak to it, and I just don't have the time. I don't know. I don't want to spend any more time trying to cut all these different shapes, and I'm wasting a lot of this. I mean, it's kind of scrappish wood anyway, but I'm over it. I'm going to resort to plywood. I'm pulling the trigger. Hopefully that goes a lot quicker. Gotta say, I must just admit that I'm not happy with the way this project went. And sometimes on the channel, I really debate if we should show you just all of our mistakes. Like, there's a combination of feeling just completely incompetent when you're trying to do things you've never done before and learn new skills in front of, you know, people online. But there's another level where you just have this idea in your head and you really want to show off, like, maybe your creative energy in this case, and try to do something a little bit more unique and have fun. And you end up just resorting to just something pretty boring to get the job done. In some of our last videos, we've also had just a slew of negative comments. A lot of them are just removed at this point. I just don't get where it's coming from. I mean, I'm just here trying to be real with you guys and show you the learning process for me. Through the magic of editing, we could just pretty much edit out all of our mistakes and we could just stick it together and it would look perfect. But I like to show the mistakes because, you know, if I'm in your shoes watching a lot of channels, it looks kind of, I don't know, intimidating to take on things, especially when you're trying new things. And it just feels like, especially highly edited videos, that everyone just does it all perfectly every time. That's just not how I do it. Like, I'm sorry. I would love to be that way. I don't think it's realistic. If there's something that I've done a ton of times, it would look much more skillful than trying to build this in a building that's not square. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of many projects that we do on the channel, really. But, you know, it's just the process of learning. You know, the next time we do it, we'll be better. And the next time we'll be better. And the van, after, you know, building that thing for over a year and taking pieces out that we weren't happy with and rebuilding them and putting them back in, by the time we were done, I'm really proud of how that thing turned out. So just know, if you're tuning in and subscribe to our channel, this is what you can expect. I hope you're willing to stay along for the ride. I'm gonna keep working on this, try to make a little bit more progress today. And then I'd like to get some varnish on it so it's just protected from the weather. We've had rain every single day and I don't want the moisture to get into our plywood and cause some damage there. So let's go.
Since it is raining out, I am going to continue to work on inside of the guest cabin, but I did want to take some time to just say to Bryce that you are doing a good job. I know that this project behind me has been really frustrating and not going as planned as you had it in your head, but I think the great opportunity about it is that we can create it into something even better than what we were planning. But that's probably not going to be until further down the road when we get more of these other bigger projects done. I think it'll be good. Bryce, you were doing an excellent job. I think that everything you've done so far has been very impressive, especially from going from zero skills to learning new skills. And I know for myself, I would not be anywhere near your level. So I just want to say big thank you to Bryce. You are doing excellent, and I think everyone else can agree that you are on the right path to success with your woodworking. The next thing that we're going to work on in the guest cabin is painting this very narrow hallway that kind of reminds me of The Shining a little bit. All I imagine is two creepy twins standing down there when the lights go out. Are they there? No. Okay, we're good. And I talked to Bryce about how to go about the hallway because I was thinking about doing the gray in here. Just looking at the gray, I think it's too dark of a color for such a narrow space. So I think I'm gonna try to see if we have enough of the green paint because it just looks so good in that other space, and I'd rather bring it through the whole building. Now that I see it with the white trim on it, I don't think it's gonna be so overwhelming to also have this space green. Man, those interior designers really know what they're doing. There's a lot more into painting and designing rooms that it appears, so kudos to you if you're an interior designer. Also, I don't know how much of the painting process you really want to see, because in the last video I said it's very monotonous and I don't think it's very fun to watch. So I'll speed it up for you. So say goodbye to orange. And say hello to softened green. Ta-da!
My plan for today is to show some real progress. And you know the way I can do that? Staining. Why can't the weather cooperate?
Now that we have the hallway painted, I'm finally gonna get to this wall behind me. And I know I mentioned I really want to do something fun with it, with doing like a mural or a design. But talking with Bryce, we decided we should just get one color on the wall for now, and then later we can be creative and do something cool with it. So I'm gonna stop talking and get to work. Okay, let's see what this color looks like on the wall. Definitely has more of a blue tone to it. Well, we're committed now, but we'll just have to see what it looks like dry. It is not at all what I was expecting. I mean, yeah. I guess that is the color. We're not going to be able to escape this gray. I can't wink, and the color of the paint is escape gray, so that was a joke. Well, Bryce is back. What do you think, Bryce?
Honestly, I wish it was green. That's what I told her right when I walked in.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a good base for the green that you can paint over it.
I mean, that's the beauty of paint. You can paint over it, but I don't know. We have 2 gallons of this paint, so we have to paint something with it. Maybe the bathroom can be this color, but if I had to pick, yeah, the green is way prettier.
Yeah,
But
I think for the second coat, we go green on this.
wait, I want to let it dry first and give it a chance.
Okay.
I want to give it a chance, because it is nice when you walk in, like, that the color is broken up. But yeah, I think if we were going to do this wall, maybe it'd be a little darker, but I don't know. It is what it is.
I have never seen anyone who can get as dirty as Jen when it comes to painting.
I'm just a messy girl. Is the backside good?
It is good and bad. Yep, looks good. More paint than I've ever seen.
And this is why I don't get asked to do certain things.
No. She's a spiller, even when it comes to paint.
Come on now. I spilled out myself at least. Don't look at the floor. Don't look at the
See,
ceiling.
yeah,
don't
you
look
can-
at the little marks on the wall. Okay?
There's a lot of them.
It's perfect. Now that Bryce is done making fun of me, I think it's time to finally say goodbye for this episode.
That was a lot of random tasks, not fully completed, but they had to get done. And if you went side by side to each one of these individual projects, I think we've made a lot of progress. But for us looking in, there's still so much to do that it's kind of overwhelming. But we're racing to get this project done because Jen's going to have her bachelorette party here, and we want to make sure that it's clean and nice and a good space for people.
And it's not going to be completely done for the party. Like, I feel like I really want to take time to decorate and put our own personal touch into the buildings, but I just want to get the main things done, like painting and possibly a floor in there.
That would be really nice, but so far
Yeah.
Home Depot has made that very challenging.
Yes, and we still have the bathroom to even look at. That
Yeah.
door's been closed for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't touched it. The plumbing doesn't work today. That's another thing you'll probably see in a very future upcoming video, is that I got to do the piping for this faucet that's right next to me outside for a hose. And because of that, the piping inside of that bathroom is shut off right now. So we need to fix all that. I went and ran to town, got all the parts, and came back. And then I'll probably have to do that 4 more times to get all the proper parts. But
That's
we'll get
just
it done.
how it goes. But I do feel like all these projects are a good learning process. I think even just to learn about ourselves and learn that we need to have more positivity with the things we do.
Positivity or acceptance?
Oh.
I think my initial like goal is up here, and then where I actually come in is somewhere down here, and then I put a positive spin on it occasionally, and it ends up in the middle.
We just have to lower our standards
Yeah.
to like bare minimum
Expectations.
low quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. But with that said, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait to share more progress with you down the road. So we'll see you on the next one.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.